Hi friends, welcome back. I am DJ Montague, and today we are talking about the October 19th tournament. It was a 4-game tournament series. They did them all weekend for SUPERVIVE. This was the 1-week playtest, and in celebration of the release on November 20th and full access permanently, we're going to take a look at these tournament matches and kind of talk about them, dissect them, and see how we did. Let's get into it. So Moonlit Battlegrounds at this point in time consisted of myself, DJ Montague, Unseen Jaguar, Look at Me Yggdrasil, also known as Jay the Yggdrasil, and Goat. So Goat is our shot caller. We're going to be listening to audio as well, and you'll probably hear him talk quite a bit. And yeah, let's get into it. Game 1. Okay, here we have basically everybody in the tournament. First of all, I want to say that I respect a ton of people that play this game, and the way that I have learned from people like Tom Kick, Aiden BY, Lemur, Abador, Paz, you know, like they're fantastic players and a lot of insight. And if you have a chance, I would highly recommend checking out their content as well, because they're doing similar stuff like this where they're dissecting games. But in this game, Pensado's a hitter, Sinoid's a hitter, Glaciated's a hitter, Galaxy Gay Boy, Gay Dad, Miles, Omnipresent Oatmeal, Icarus was popping off. He was doing really well. And let's see. The other names I don't really recognize all that much, but I think there are a lot of teams that were put together last minute. So this is, again, the Saturday tournament. This was not the tournament that had the last door in it. That was the Sunday tournament. We can go over that as well, but it's a little less exciting from our standpoint. We ended up getting first in this tournament, and it was a pretty difficult tournament in general, just based on probably the top 5 teams. It was all really close. And then Sunday's tournament was a little more difficult than obviously this one. It was the top 10 teams in the United States, at least in the United States. And we placed, I think, 7th for that one. But let's get into it. We have decided in this meta to start running Oath. Oath was absolutely insane for pretty much the entirety of the week-long open beta, I guess you could say. Oath is just like, he manipulates the game at a high level to such a degree that he alienates specific characters from being meta. Jewel being one of them. Jewel, if there is an Oath on the opposite team, it's really difficult for Jewel to succeed. Same with Shiv. Shiv has a tough time with Oath in certain situations. She can, if she is by herself and Oath is by himself, she can absolutely outduel Oath like all day of the week, because she can just shift left click into his shield and it will reset. But if there's a team behind Oath, he can absolutely negate her ultimate, negate her from fighting. Firefox is another one that has a tough time with Oath, because Firefox cannot ult past Oath shield. Sorry, Felix, not Firefox. My bad. Anyways, so that's why we decided to run Oath. We also decided to run Kingpin because of me having a higher ping and Brawl being a very, very low ping champion. He's very difficult to play on 80 to 100 and above because of how the movement is in the game currently. So we start talking right here. We're taking a look at the drop locations. Most of what is going to happen is a lot of teams are going to move towards Site 38 and Ion Acres and try to establish early control of bonfires, also known as campfires. So most likely a lot of teams are going to drop right here at the south of Vanegrove and move left to Ion Acres, or drop at the heart and move left to Ion Acres and try and get the camps there as quickly as possible so they can open up and get the tier 4 armor. Now, Vanegrove is a really good place to be on night 1, because night 1 they have all the ghosts here. A lot of other teams would take this map as dropping Academy or Gridlock, moving into Academy, get your experience in Gridlock, move into Academy to try and fight the team for the red book that's in Academy. They nerfed Academy recently. It's still really, really strong just because you can get a whole team to level 5 and one person to level 6 really, really easily there if you have full control of Academy. So we, I think, end up dropping Mage Bog. Well, let's see. We're counting off how many teams are dropping right now. It's probably pretty quiet for you guys, but I don't want it to be overpoweringly loud because 6, 7.
We only got 2 teams here, man.
So we end up taking shards. 8. Yeah, we take shards of
We
fate.
can actually pivot to fight.
So we end up taking the Kaiju Vault, also known as the Abyss Vault. It is a bombing run mat, so not too much of a difference of how you would normally play. There's just a lot of slower control, which I actually like because that means you're not third-partying as much. Okay. So bombing runs is cool with me.
If we need 2 vaults, we just go here into ammo attack for 2
Take these 2 camps to our left.
I like it. I'm gonna start on the right then, and work my way that way.
So a lot of teams will split up 2-1-1 if you have full control over the camps, and then you could split up the other people to go to the other 2 and end up getting level 3 on most of your people because you get solo experience on 2 camps, duo experience on 1 camp, and that's if you have full control. Realistically, like, this is a bad idea for most of the way that the game is played at high level nowadays because of how difficult it is to get that much control over an area. In tournament play, it might be more accessible because of everybody starts out and wants to split up. You don't want to be the first team out. People are very, very cautious about fighting in general. We know right now that that camp up in Shards of Fate, I think it was taken by Jay, but either way. So making sure you're looking at where camps are moving on your minimap is a big, big thing when it comes to tournament play, because you can see so far with the minimap and seeing where the camps move, seeing or guessing where teams are. It's a lot easier, right? So Kaiju Vault, or sorry, Abyss Vault is really, really strong. Looking at the first circle, we're all going to be heading towards the 4 armors that are available. So we already know that this is going to be a really, really difficult map. Everybody's going to have to move left, and we're going to have to establish zone control early. And every team is going to have to do that realistically. So this current iteration of Kingpin, I played the solo queue build in the first 2 games of the tournament, which was a really, really bad idea in my part. Also, damn, that network jitter being at 1000 ms, it's not a good idea. Holy shit up there. That's crazy. This is why I play Kingpin. It's much easier. You're not losing skills or doing the wrong skills because of server latency. I actually think this network jitter might be because of it being a custom game. But so getting control in Kobayashi's is also really good during the first day. Because you're able to find usually an armor key. Armor keys being available to open vaults now. It's just super huge. Really, really good. When you are taking a camp and you have one person that's already at max looking for vision, while the rest of the team takes the camp, is really, really strong. To the right, there is people. So we hear people coming from the right side of Kobayashi's. I doubt they engage. This is my first time, by the way, watching these since we finished up the tournament. I was really excited about the way we played, and this is a good way for me to analyze a lot of what's going on. We're having a conversation about moving to the last vault that I think ends up getting taken, or it got robber raccooned, but it might still be there. I think we're opening it for specifically because Jag uses the cooldown skill. No, it's full. My mistake. But skills that you want to take and powers that you want to take in high tier games, I actually am a pretty big fan of. 1, grappling hook is insane. 2, Mana Cloak is insane. And they're common powers. Sandwall is okay, but any sort of kaiju power is going to be really, really strong. A lot of people, I think, are sleeping on the Touch of Life, Touch of Speed, and Touch of Mana skills with characters that really struggle with any sort of mana issues. Kingpin being one of them. If you're not taking a mana helm or not taking a mana blade, usually you're running out of mana in a team fight, and your third stun is just like, you don't get one. So he has really high mana costs for whatever reason, even though he's like a 3-button character rather than other characters being like high damage, high variance and stuff like that.
This is Air Blast. If we
Air Blast is good if you are thinking that the game is going to end towards Kobayashi's. We already know that it's not, so that's why we're heading south. We're not taking Air Blast. We're going straight towards Chaos Steps. There's still yet to be a death. There is nobody that's died in this game. It's 10 of 40 or 10 and 40. Nothing's pretty much happened, and these are a lot of the games end up going a little slower like this. And you'll see towards the end of the game, it absolutely becomes insane how like fights pop off and how difficult it can be to really establish like any sort of dominance in a game. So placing high consistently in these games requires quite a bit of patience and choice movement. And I think a lot of teams are really unaware of that because like
Shrapnel Soul's probably the biggest one.
Let's get this. Discussing what souls you want to take, establishing any sort of control is always going to be difficult when there are 10 teams left. Third partying happens so often. That's why it's so crazy that like a team like the Last Door, when we did the tournament before, the Last Door won 4 of the 6 games in the tournament. It was a landslide. They obliterated NA. Bomba, I think was, I'm not sure. I didn't watch EU enough, but I think Bomba did really well. But there was another team that dominated there as well. I think it was Nyza's team. Nyza is absolutely insane. If you have a chance to check out Nyza, NYZAH. Really, really sick player, plays in EU. So we've come over, we have a camp in our inventories. We've finally got greed on me, which is not a good thing for this tournament. Don't in like high tier play, Kingpin is not at all a damage carry. He is a area denial and pick potential, which is difficult to get in this tournament or in tournament play in general.
Holy fuck, here I am, dudes.
Rescue grenade also pretty good, obviously, when you have slow rotations. We wanted to get that camp up there and then take this Shrapnel Soul and then TP back to camp. Shrapnel Soul is really, really strong for any sort of team. Like it's a high
Team to the right. Yep, right.
want. So this is the other team that we're worried about is Soul. So I got a big stun, or sorry, big grab and stun onto KP. Or not KP, sorry, Oath. I'm fucking dumb. But we weren't able to collapse in a kill because we were a little bit split. Jay gets Arba, and we already know that we're in advantage in this fight. We already know we're in really good advantage in this fight, being that Oath had to run away early and use his heal. He can't throw up shield, and will chances are get shield broken really quickly, and then have 8 seconds where his shield's down. So establishing early in the fight, because we got a pick on Oath, and then following up with an actual kill from Jag. Sorry, I do that all the time, literally all the time. Following up with a kill from Jag, and then moving down into making sure that once any one of our team went down, we had control with Oath. Their Oath had to split back, and they took so much damage they had to completely split up and go back to rezzing. So we get control of at least one of the gold armors.
They have a key.
We got an armor key, so we can guaranteed open the vault if we wanted to. So another big thing about any sort of high tier play is armor is so important, and I think a lot of people do sleep on armor. Um,
Right here. Sinoid.
Yes, I have a base camp.
yeah, so Sinoid has the other gold armor right there. Anyways. So armor being this important in high tier play, green armor, blue armor, does not matter. It's so strong. The big thing is bosses give armor. Machine gives armor, which is a drop area that sometimes teams will go to get blue armor and green armor early. And some vaults have armor, which
What do you mean?
blue armor being the second best armor in the game, still a great take.
Okay.
Also,
Let's move up.
like obviously being able to take over the vaults that have gold armor, it's the toughest thing.
Rescue
But if you have like
Yeah.
luxury goods as a game mode, that one is really tough because a lot of armors are going out because it is considered a luxury good, and also
Get out of here.
a lot of really high tier powers. So you gotta assume on a luxury goods game that every team is strong. So there's no team that's like actually playing weak side. There are a ton of things in this game with bombing run and like bosses and the storm that you got to worry about, and it's kind of a very strange game. I think I ended up dying in one situation that I was really upset about.
Not the one known on this island.
This rotation is really risky because of this island being so centralized and control of 4 different spaces, and people have to jump into you, right? So we decide to establish early, try and get up to chaos steps, and try and play the top down
Okay. We're
because we want to control the res beacon.
around us.
The
Take our engagements really carefully from here on out.
so I say there take our engagements really carefully from here on out. There's 8 teams. The circle's pretty small. 8 teams to be in it. Up on the top right in here, there is a campfire that we want to get back. It's really difficult, obviously, with 8 teams being left, and you're showing your hand. Basically, if you're going to walk over a campfire, everybody knows, every single team knows that you're trying to control that campfire, right? The only thing backing teams off from trying to fight us is probably going to be the soul, because they could see we have shrapnel soul. I have bushwhacker, which gives me invisibility out of bushes, which is really good for KP. Any sort of invisibility is really strong for KP.
Watch.
I'm sad I missed that.
Oh, nice punch.
That was really
Nice
good.
with a spike.
Jay got that.
Okay,
Another
We end up getting a gold armor from that too.
I can-
Bonfire.
Okay. I'm chilling.
So
chilling.
another thing, I jump across there knowing I have enough room to mantle,
Gold.
because like you never want to pull out your glider in high tier games. Ever pull out your glider. It is so, it's just a death wish. Know what sides you can jump to and where you can actually mantle. We end up getting control because they had control of that bonfire. It becomes ours. Now we have vision. We know where pink team is. We end up knowing where a couple teams are. We know where pink team is to the left. They're moving south. We know that another team is to our top right, and they're controlling that boss. There's a red boss mob, biome boss. That's what it's called. They are on the top right.
Yeah, I like this.
And I think there's a team straight directly east from us as well.
They're fighting up top above us.
So the team up top gets into an engagement. We end up just doing this for vision.
Right at there.
Jay is a little far. Like, as you can see, he was down near the shop and he just moves over. It's so risky, but Bishop is one of those characters that can get you extra vision, especially in this game right now, because of hover wings, the way this patch worked and the way movement works. Bishop was able to get on a tier above being able to be hit by anyone on the ground, and you would be able to fly, get vision, and then move back to your team with relative ease with that power. So that's another reason why we took Bishop here.
Right here.
So team comes over. We get the ulti from
Storm has nothing.
um
Nothing. Be
was that
careful.
Taobao? Yeah, Taobao. We get the early ulti. We know we have control of this fight. They have Stalker, Firefox, Aluna, I think? No, sorry. Assault or Ghost, sorry. And Jewel. That kind of team is like, that's a hard engaged team and they run you over. Specifically because of how Felix works. I keep saying Firefox.
They're locked on low ground.
So we kind of disengage from this because we don't have a hook and we don't have an easy
We don't need to be to it. Well, just come back.
engagement from Oath.
We're low armor.
So this team ends up taking our bonfire. A big thing right now is you don't want to get into a fight because as soon as we would go for that fight, there are air rings above that bonfire that would just take like that team that we were just fighting. What team was it? Teal team. Right over into us to third party us fighting green team. So what we try to do is we try to enter on the bottom side and push green team back up into the two teams that we know are top right of us and top left of us. We know they're fighting that camp right there. They're probably getting some items.
Yeah, I guess.
The camp here. So I end up, this is my mistake. I shouldn't have gone right there. Gokt ends up saving me on that decision. I do have gold armor, but I'm still paper, and I didn't really make a good decision here. So I went for the stun. We end up getting Oatmeal's ulti, and then Jay and I both tried to stand in his shift so that we can go over with him. Or sorry, Jag. Dude, I'll do it again. So Jag is now ulting over here, and Taobao has ulti again. Realistically, Oath should be our kill target here with no armor and separation of team. Oh no, Taobao doesn't ult. This is a separate. Oh yeah. Sorry, not Taobao. Taobao's at the top left. We get a Celeste ulti, and you can see up here, right to my bottom right. This is the movement of Bishop in the current meta. She was just like way high up. So they get a full disengage.
I have low.
But they're down 3 ultis that are really important. Oath ulti, Void ulti, and Celeste ulti. This is one of those times where I feel like we could have taken it, but we decided to back up. And I think it ends up being the better call backing up because we needed to get armor back, get food cooked, get our health back up, establish control. We have vision. We know that now they're nuking it, which sucks. But we have vision now. Taobao's right there. Got a hook. Got stun on Felix.
Oh, nice.
That ends up stopping Felix's that shield. Bootsy tried to ult backwards because he couldn't shift through shield. Sometimes you can maneuver around the shield, and if the Oathbreaker is not perfectly holding the shield, you can kind of slide against it like it's a wall because it's considered a wall.
It's good. It's okay. It's okay.
So Jay goes for it, but we're not ready for that. I had shift down. Let's see. I'm gonna double check.
Right here.
I grabbed.
Stun. I do not have shift down,
Oh, nice.
but
It's good. It's okay. It's okay.
I don't think Jag was ready to fight that. So he has Blinkstone. I should have Blinkstone, realistically.
I'm looking at Liquid Coke.
And we get a gold or a red key pop, so also a big deal.
Another team right
This is where we make, I think, our big mistake in this game. We control the area again. I get hook, I dash backwards, we get stun, and we end up getting kill participation for on THG. Right? We put that team behind, we get armor back. We are at level 8. We're probably the highest level in the game. And
We're
Gokt is trying to move us,
fighting over here.
I think, to the top left. But importantly, right here, I think we have Gnarled Heart. Yes. So Gokt has Gnarled Heart and places it right here. You could see the area turn red. So the storm turns red, letting everybody in the game know that it has to go to this specific area. Every storm will try and move that way. So that jump into hook, I tried to jump, hook, and then shift backwards up on top, and I fucked it up. But that's okay.
I'm gonna put Campfire down.
Wait. The guy has
We have no one here yet.
nuke. I don't
Okay,
no campfire yet.
So we know there is a nuke in the game. They nuked our campfire. That's why I was making that call. Goat was going to put down the campfire for vision. I don't think that was the play right there. I'm not making the call. Change that.
It's like a minute.
So purple team gets geyser, right? And they move over. I'm going for the grab to push them off of that. It is 3 people.
Back up, back up, back up. I got hooked. I got hooked.
I end up getting out, which was fucking crazy right here. This is why you don't pull glider. That literally right there is why you don't pull glider. So he missed the stun because he didn't move far enough forward. I end up tapping the wall and mantling. Let's see it again. So I get hooked from here.
Back up, back up, back up. I got hooked. I got hooked.
So I mantle here and then shift and mantle again.
Come back, come back.
I am trying to. I'm in a.
That was scary. Like I should be dead. 100%.
Jay, if you want to go wings, here's a stand.
Watch left, watch left, watch left.
I'm making this.
So we end up.
This is.
to make them come here. Making them
Yeah,
come
yeah.
through there.
This is a. Shit. Okay. All right. All right. This is a spot.
They're
I think I might have done it.
So they are fighting a team they're trying to push them outside.
Keep it nice.
Hey,
I don't know if we end up getting kill participation there.
No.
No. We could have ended that team for points,
They got
but
killed.
we don't. They end up getting the team, pretty sure.
I have hook now.
I'm just ulting that.
So we're basically just making sure that these guys can't come in for free. That was a really good shield. We have 2 champions or 2 hunters that can poke really well with Jag and Jay being able to do different things. Jay being able to throw RMBs basically at will because of the way that Bishop with the 50% cooldown works.
Yep.
It's just constant.
We're still waiting.
And then also
There-
very similarly with cooldown reduction, anytime that
when this team comes from the left,
Unseen Jaguar has
lean down.
a Q up, he can throw it to try and get a pick. So another thing is when I say that lean down, we always want to have a target that we can regroup at and move down towards together and like try and reestablish ourselves if we are losing a team fight. So at this point in the game, 7 teams left, 24 people, you have to have a regroup idea, because if you run into another team, that's when you have to split up, right? It becomes a fucking nightmare because of how late game this work or late game games work.
We lean down.
So we have control and high ground, it's like second tier high ground, and
Nope. It was close.
I mean they robbed not a whole lot. I think Jay gets killed here.
I got stun on 3.
Yeah, this was bad. This was a bad fight. Jag almost gets him. I should have left. That was so risky because if I would have taken that air blast into that shit, I'd be dead. Oh my god, Goke saves me. This is why Oath is so strong, especially in an Oath meta, because like every team's gonna have Oath. Sinoid basically goes to ult me. Goke ends up blocking Oath's ult and then blocks a lot of Pensado's ult on Jay and I think Jag a little bit. Nah, he gets split. He gets his shield. Puts his shield down? That was weird. But basically, we get completely third-partied by that. So Jay gets hooked. We tried to over-engage to try and save him. Bad idea. Like, if he can't get out on his own, it's really, really hard to get someone back. We also have the res right there. There's a res beacon directly above us. We don't need to hard engage this. And we know we can take control because they're down. They were down one person. I think they resed him, but anyways.
I'm dead.
So Jay gets killed, Jag gets killed. I kind of get out
Right side. Right there, Luna between us.
and I call right side. I mean left side because I'm dumb as
I
shit.
see.
My wisp is there.
Luna's lit right there.
I can look in a second bolt.
So I want to stay here, right? I really want that location, but I just don't think there's really anywhere I can go because I think I showed my cards too bad there. That was my mistake. I could have stayed up there and been super chill, but I was worried because Shrike and Aluna were in between me and Goat, and I was worried they were gonna push. Goat ends up making a fucking play here.
Yeah, that's what I need to move.
So all in all, if Goat would have got out right there, we would have gotten 7th, and that is no good, right? Bad points. I think bottom 3 teams don't get points. We had some kill participation points. I have 2 kills, I think. Someone has 4. I just saw. So now there's no way we get reses. We know where the gnarled heart is because we placed it. Man, this is ridiculous. Like this fight is like impossible for Shrike, by the way. Shrike just has to leave. So now they know we're here. I think teal team's really like down to 2, I think, at this point.
I like the
But
patience.
yeah, like me personally, I would have thrown like a fucking hammer. Just cause like he was gonna take double damage. He was healing right there. It's risky as shit. That's good kill participation if he had gotten it. But he ends up going back, taking the geyser,
Careful, please.
moving down south. This is crazy. This is like,
Most wanted to the right. It's right there.
yeah, so we have to wait again for most wanted to come to us because there's no other way to res other than that res beacon up north, and it's being full controlled by the team that still has 4 members. They walk by us. Secret shit, man. This was a game. This was a hell of a game. Ridiculous.
They got it. They got the res.
So they end up getting res. He ults again, and he removes his only
I know. Just gonna bitch him off my area.
bush that's really left in the circle. There's really not a whole lot of other places you can go. Right now, this is just like the scariest shit. So this ends up becoming a fight
It's okay.
of the oats. This is ridiculous. Ridiculous. Oh, that's right. They just let him res. That's right. So everybody's pretty low. We know we've got no items. Goat doesn't have much. He can push people off with Oath. They can't really do anything about it because there's no... if Sinoid was here, it would be okay. And they would just push him off. But Sinoid's not there. We end up getting res, come back, get full healed because we have Oath because he's so fucking ridiculous. We get armor. I end up getting tree. Almost got Pensado. This is bad. I end up stunning Pensado out.
I traded. Maybe best me.
And so we get near full reses back. I'm pretty
Watching the
sure.
res. I'm watching Jag careful.
Nah, he's
Just play your lane.
yeah, that's bad. Okay, this is where I'm kind of sad about this. I try and make a really ridiculous play.
One guy, Firefox.
So there's a Firefox to my left. I go to eat, but I cancel it because I don't have vision.
Here.
Crouch, jump crouching, giving myself information. I see him there, standing still. What I tried to do, which is still so sad if you play this at 50% speed, is I go for the hook on the Firefox. I double shift backwards. I should have shifted more upwards in one of the shifts, but boom to the right, and then another shift to the right again. And if I would have shifted upwards, I would have gotten him against the wall. I would have mantled and I would have spiked him. So I would have had the most wanted, gotten the spike off the mantle, but I end up dying. It's kind of sad. I'm really upset about it. But it was a play. I don't think if I stayed still, I would have really had anything because you have most wanted, and then it's pretty risky from there. The rest of this game will go in 2 times speed. Okay, so this is the Just Relic look at where everybody was. This is like the actual spectator client. So we see that we killed half of that team, and then Omnipresent Oatmeal's team, they just collapse on us. They hear that the fight's done. That was a weird ulti, but that was pretty funny. Goes out into the fucking distance. But they know that there's nothing I can do, right? So I shift down, and Glaciated basically is the last one on Soul, right? He ends up living, I think, for longer than I do. No, because I hook Glaciated. Yeah, I'm dumb as shit. Yeah. So Glaciated comes back down. I grab that. No, I didn't hook Glaciated. Teal team. But yeah, like this, I want to hear what they say.
Cannot get anything. What a great...
Over the abyss!
Oh my god, and DJ Montague did not get the kill, so that is it. Moonlit Battlegrounds finally out for good.
Glaciated, now trying to heal up, but in move goes Gratkate. Oh, Gratis Kate, I apologize.
Yeah, Glaciated's dead here. That's team 3. Bootsy's the last on team for 3rd place, and then it's 4v4. I'm pretty sure that ends up getting kill participation and team wipe participation, so extra points to SNR. By the way, what was crazy was SNR had two EU players on their team. They ended up getting nuke. That ult was a little bit sus just because of the way that the trees were right there. It was tree prison. This is crazy. So the fact that they get so much mileage out of this, like it hits trees, it breaks one tree, but then Oatmeal gets a ground and the explosion of his, I think his Q, maybe? But it's Void. Excellent control by Oatmeal. Basically, just single-handedly obliterating Oath in that fight, and then also getting a second person with the explosion. Nuts. Going for it again. I can't move forward. It's 3v4. I don't really... like, they've got half armor and 2 golds. Sorry, 2 half golds armors and 2 full blue armor. I don't think there's a way that Nomad's team wins this game. They also Raven Spy and then pop the Raven Spy to do damage, which is crazy now. Raven Spy is really good. Grot has literally everything to hard engage if he wants to. Blinkstone and grappling hook. They're basically waiting for the chance of Storm kills or Abyss kills, and he goes for it. He punches them outward. They waste Celestial, get punched. Dude, that kind of team fight is really, really difficult to do. Like, it's just, there's so much, like, actual HP, like, raw stats you have to break through in this team fight. Oh, man. Shield. Literally, it's so bad. Playing Strike in tournaments sucks right now, just because Oath is so strong. It's really sad. It's so hard. I don't think there's really a way they do anything. They pull the red chest in. For what reason? Oh, just to do it. Laser. Let's speed this up a little bit.
So they can't go for the revive very easily. On top of them being cut off here, they do have to jump over that bombing run is going to put them on the same side.
Nuke as well. This is getting very tight.
There's almost nowhere for them to go. But if they waited on the nuke, I think that there's no way that they can do anything. Pink team. If they waited on the nuke to put it where the bombing run was, because that grenade pushes them in, so they have to take damage somewhere. I think this is weird that they're so afraid to just hard engage on them. They have Blinkstone and hover. Oh no, they have Icarus wings. Yes, and armor shredder. Like, they're so ahead.
This actually could give Bless some space here because it is going to force them. Look at how they can get to the death box. I don't think they have the time to do it though.
No. Yeah. Celeste ends up splitting the team fight. Void gets a solo ulti. it's just basically a stat check. Like you can't really fight that. So, anyways, friends, that was game 1. I appreciate you being here. We're gonna move on to game 2. I'll have a link at the end of this video. I'd appreciate a follow on Twitch, twitch.tv/DJ Montague. Come the 20th, I'll be streaming this game all the time. This is my new main game, and I have a very big love for SUPERVIVE. So come on by, check it out. We'll be playing all the time. We'll be playing with viewers, be playing with friends, be playing high tier games, be doing scrims, be doing customs with all high tier players, all that kind of stuff. So appreciate you. Have a wonderful night. Thank you. See you in the next game.